I'm not sure this is the best idea I've ever had, but let's try. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are doing super duper well. Today I thought I was going to share with you guys a story time about, because I have mentioned it before, that I had one au pair family and then I decided to change and to move family. After 3 months, I was supposed to stay for 11 months, but after 3 months I decided to leave. And today I'm doing a story time where I'm telling you guys all about why and what led up to the decision, etc. First off, I wanted to just start and tell you how I first found the family and how I decided for the family and why I went there in the first place. I used a website called aupairworld.com, which is a very popular website to use for au pair experiences in Europe. So on aupairworld.com you can, as an au pair or as a host family, register your profile. You fill in a lot of different categories where you just tell everything about yourself and everything that you want to present for a potential host family or a potential au pair. So I created a profile and I started writing with people, and eventually I started to have calls with them as well. Most calls were on WhatsApp video so that we can see each other and you talk and you discuss what an au pair experience would be for the two of you. That's what I did. I spoke with plenty of different families, but there was this one family that I really fell for very quickly. They seemed so friendly and so, they seemed like a very sweet family, and they just really promoted the area where they live very, very well, so I was very excited to go there. And about in March or April we decided to go for it, and I told them that if you are interested, then I am interested in actually coming to live with you. So I got the phone number of the girl who was an au pair in their family right before me, so that I could call her, and I talked to her about what her experience was like and what she thought and all of that, just to kind of make to get a good picture. I think it's always good if there is a potential reference to call them. I asked her a bunch of questions and she was so sweet, and she confirmed everything that I was feeling about the family. Everything felt very, very good, and I just felt that this is going to be amazing. Can you see I moved the camera a little? And then I arrived to their family on August 21st. Excuse me, that is not my dogs or our dogs, it's the neighbor's dog. Ça va? Ça va, Pretty? Ça va bien? She really likes me. Non, Pretty, file. Je veux pas. Pretty, je veux pas. Non. Qu'est-ce que tu cherches?
Je vais regarder si le voisin il est savant.
So when I first arrived, I was picked up at the train station by the mother and the daughter. The daughter was 8 years old. And then one thing that I didn't really think so much about anything in the beginning. Everything is new, and you have only lived, me, I've only lived in one family for my entire life, so I can't really say what it's like to live in another family. In the beginning you are just so up in yourself, thinking about the fact that you have actually just moved out of your country, and you don't really spend that much time thinking about how weird your family may be. So of course that was nothing I was thinking about either. Then I started to notice just small things, and one of the things was that it was not very clean in their house. The reason that they kind of gave for that, or the excuse that they presented, was that their cleaning lady was on vacation. Didn't think too much about it until like 3 or 4 days had passed when I started to realize that my allergy was really, really bad. And then more and more things kind of started showing up. Let's see, I've written it down to remember. First day when I arrived, they had forgotten about my allergies, which was weird, my food allergies. So I had to remind them. They were like, oh, so you know, they didn't really have anything prepared that I could eat, but they fixed it, so no worries. Then after maybe 2 weeks, and when the kids started going back to school, that's when I first realized that these parents, or especially this mother, has a very free child raising method. I know that people raise their children differently and that everyone does what they think is best for their children, but it is to my full belief that children does need some sort of framework of what behavior is acceptable and unacceptable, which these children did not have. The mother encouraged them to express their emotional feelings, always, no matter what they were and how they wanted to express them. And I think it's good, you have to express your feelings, but you know, when I asked the kids to do chores, which was in my au pair contract, the parents wanted me to ask the kids to like empty the dishwasher. They were always like, I don't want to. It's like, it's not that they refused to do it, it's just that they were really like complaining about it. And I tried to tell these kids that, well, one day you will have a job, and if your boss asks you to do something, you can't just, it's boring, I don't want to do it, because then you won't get promoted and your boss won't like you. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that, okay, I need to do this, there's no point in complaining, it's not making anyone any happier. So I tried to explain that to the kids, and with the oldest two it was a little easier, but the youngest one, she was just not taking it. She was very upset with me, and she started to really scream at me, and sometimes she started to throw her toys at me, which I found unacceptable. But when I told the mother was all like, well, but she expresses her feelings, it's so good. Like, it's not good that she's throwing her things at me and having a temper tantrum. And then she was like, oh, no, I don't want to stop her from expressing her feelings. So that was also one time I asked the mother, what do I do if the kids don't listen to me? And her answer was, it's a question you have to ask yourself as a mother every single day. That's it. And it's like, but it's your kids, and you have hired me as an au pair to take care of your children. You have to let me know how you want me to not discipline them, but I want to know which consequences I can use for when they are not listening. The next thing that came from the mother that was really upsetting for me was when she started to really comment on my diet. I have always been skinny, and I kind of have it in my genes, and it's just genetic that I don't gain weight very easily. I love soda. No, not soda, but Coke. I love Coke. If I could, I would drink a Coke per day, because I think it's so good. A Coke with some ice, it's a lot of sugar, I know, but I don't like the zero one, so I'm gonna continue with my regular Coke. But this mother was kind of starting to tell me how bad I ate, because she was avoiding carbohydrates. So she did not eat bread, she did not eat pasta, or added sugar or anything like that. And every single time that I ate carbohydrates, she would come up to me and point it out and say that, it's not very good for you. It's like, yeah, but I'm not trying to lose weight, so I don't need to really think like that about what I eat every single day. And also I have food allergies, so I cannot eat what is available for me. This is an hour later. I had to charge my camera. But let's get back to where we were. We were talking about food. So this mother, she always commented on what I ate. And besides just commenting on my food that I ate with carbohydrates in, she was also very skeptical with my allergies, and she spoke a lot about, you know, the fact that if I just change my mindset, I will not be allergic. I'm not allergic, I just think I am. So if I change my mindset, I can eat what I'm allergic to. So, and she was also about other things that, you know, when I spoke to her about the kids, it was always that, when I said that I don't know what to do with the kids, it always ended with me being mentally unstable, kind of. I did not have a good relationship with the world in general. She asked me if I wanted to meet her kinesiologist that she goes to like every month. She asked if I wanted to take an appointment, and she said like it's good to let go of the past and things like that, and I was, yeah, sure, I can do that. So I went there one time and it was a disaster, to be honest. I come there and she started off by saying that, you know, I started off by drawing a family tree, and I was like, how do you want me to draw it? And she was like, like you want. So I started to draw on the paper like a family tree is like me and my brother, and then it goes up to my two parents, and then I did my mother up to my grandparents, the sister of my mother, and then my grandparents' parents. And then on the other side was my father's side, so it was my father's parents, so my grandparents, and my father's sisters, and my aunt's children, so my cousins, and then the parents of my other grandparents, my great-grandparents, all 8. I don't know their names, I just, they were just little heads. And she said, okay, we'll come back to this later. And then she started being all like, oh, I feel you have bad energy, and I can feel that you have been exposed to violence in your past. And I was like, no, I wouldn't say. And she was like, yeah, I can feel that you have been through a lot of family internal violence, so that someone in my family has exposed me to violence. And I just said no. And she looked at me and I said, I know it must be very hard for you to have someone like me just know everything about you without you telling me. But, you know, I know that you have been exposed to this violence. And I was like, but I haven't been exposed to violence. And she started, you know, you are not letting it out. It's like, okay. And then she went back to this family tree, and she started to being like, each person needs a column, and your column is not free. Your column is blocked by your grandmother. My grandmother passed less than a year before I went on this appointment, and I really love my grandmother, and I adored her in every single way. She was amazing, and I got really, really sad when she passed away. So when she say me that you're blocked by your grandmother, first of all, I think it's a good thing. I think it's like, oh, we have a good bonding, a good connection, but then she tells me that it's your grandmother who put you through this violent childhood. And I just got so angry with her, because my grandmother was the sweetest person on earth, and she would never ever put anyone, I mean, she was nice to the people that she hated, or she didn't hate very many people, but she was nice to everyone, and she had something good to say about everyone. And for her to sit there and say that your grandmother has put you through violence, she's blocking you from being yourself, it is her fault that you are feeling bad, whatever, was a very, very triggering. And I got so angry, but I tried to stay calm, and then then she started to she laid me down on the table and she started with her tools, and she had something ding, and then she put it here on my chest, and she took her hands and she did like 3 fingers here, and then she took here, and then she kind of rubbed, super hard pressed and rubbed, and then she was like, does it hurt? And I said, yes. She's like, yeah, that's your bad spirit, I have to rub it out. And I said, no, you're pressing on my chest hard and rubbing. It's not gonna go, well, I may be numb after a while, and therefore the pain goes away. And after 2 hours with this lady, I just said that, you know what, this is it, I'm leaving this. I said, I'm not feeling comfortable anymore. So I decided to stop after 2 hours, and I have no clue how long she would have continued if I didn't leave. And then I came home to the mother, and she said, how did it go? And I said that, not very well. So I just said that I don't think this is for me. And she was like, no, this is for everyone. It's you who don't open up enough. It's you that aren't ready for this. I'm like, I will never, ever be ready to admit that my grandmother put me through violence. And that same weekend that I went to this lady, I got sick. And this is kind of where everything took a big turn. I was really feeling that this is weird, this is all. But then I got sick. I got the flu. And I was in my room. I was living on the 3rd floor without the rest of the family. And I was so sick. I had the flu, I had fever, I was vomiting. And so I texted the mother that I can't work Monday morning. It's impossible. I'm so sick. I'm vomiting, I have a fever. And she was like, oh no, that's no good. Okay, so I'll fix with the children tomorrow morning. And then, I asked her that if she could buy some like soda or some lemonade or some soft drink for me. She was like, no, I don't want that sugar in my household. So I was laying on my room, I couldn't get anywhere myself, vomiting, fever, and all I had was water. Because it wasn't like anyone cooked for me. The rest of the family ate, and they said I could come down and eat with them if I wanted to. But I was sick. So I had to call another au pair that I know, and I had to ask her to go to the grocery store and buy me Capri-Sun drinks that I could have in my room without the mother knowing it. And that's where I felt that was the turning point for me. That's when I felt that, this is not working. This is not what things are supposed to be like. So while I was sick, having a few days off, I decided to look for a new family. So I went on Au Pair World again, and I reactivated my profile, and I started searching for new families, which is how I found this family where I am right now. So that is my story time of having a bad au pair experience. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to click the subscribe button down below. And I will see you in my next video.